Hello, I'm Professor Damian Chalmers. I'm the Geoffrey Bartholomew Chair here at the Law Faculty at National University of Singapore. Well, the first reason I came here was almost by serendipity. I came to teach here as a visitor, and it was just a much more rewarding experience than I'd expected. It was really fantastic. So it was, first of all, the students. But after I arrived here a bit, the thing that I found most distinctive was NUS branding itself as Asia's law school. And I always thought that was a bit of a cliche. How could you be a law school for 3 billion people, or however many there are in Asia? But actually, over time, I did discover that you have the faculty has such a unique array of people coming through, giving lectures, giving talks, providing research, and teaching. It really is like nowhere else in the world. I learnt a lot. Well, when I first came here, I realised there was limited traction in telling everyone about the EU here in Singapore. That wasn't the thing they most wanted to know. And I was interested to come to Singapore really to challenge my own views about regional organisation, to think of it as less centred around the EU, which is perhaps the most well-known regional organisation, and start thinking it through the prism of organisations such as ASEAN. But it coincided with, I think, a downturn in international cooperation with Brexit, the election of the first Trump administration. I began to find that actually legal globalisation, the fact that states copy laws from elsewhere, and they do it quite regularly, and they do it even when they're not part of regional organisations, was much more pervasive, much more interesting, and there was much more to say. And that's how I got interested in it. Well, I'm writing a book. What I'm looking at is it's notionally about competition law in the Global South, but really it's a story about globalisation. We know that many states adopted similar laws, but we then don't really know what happened next. And my story is that actually quite a lot happened next. These areas weren't sort of terra blanca where there was no law before. They're often highly politically contested. Some states, dramatic things happened, some states, less dramatic things. And thinking about why that is so and how that has changed the world, I think is very interesting. A central insight, I hope, of my research is that globalisation has been significant, but it cannot win on its own terms. Well, I hope they enjoy it and they don't find it too boring. But in terms of the content, I hope that they find globalisation, and particularly legal globalisation, to be more interesting, more extensive, and more pervasive than they thought. And if they can come away realising that, and that maybe regardless of all the talk about the Trump administration and rivalry, that it will persist come what may, that I think I will already be very, very pleased with.